Showtime. We're live. Sorry.
We're live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Nerdy Up North podcast. It's a nerdy podcast hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
Let's fucking go! I mean...
Yeah, that was the movie.
Bye, guys!
So yes, I am the other host, Paul. And sorry about my Australian accent. I thought I did quite well with that one. And we are joined by the saber-tooth impersonator himself.
I should have grown my eyebrows out a bit.
Just fitted it.
The beastly wonder himself. We've got the lovely Jake. And yes,
yeah, comic crew back together.
Yes. And yes, if you did watch the podcast earlier or yesterday, we are still wearing the same clothes because we are that filthy. Yes.
Tramps, a lot of us.
Getting our stink on.
Yes. So yes, it's been a busy weekend for the Nerdy Up North, especially with like I say, everything that's been going on. We like I say, the Comic-Con happened. We got excited. We did an early podcast because our amazing Slide and Sloop was streaming for the last time, and the utter chaos of watching that just scared the living life of me and wanted me to stay away from Twitch for the rest of my life.
Were honked.
Yes, bless her. But she looked like she was having the best time. Like I say, the Trekking Boys had an amazing time at, like I say, their convention down in Blackpool. Like I say, it looks like they did really well, and really proud of you guys. Well done.
Yay.
And then we did, like I say, we're going to do this because we watched this film over the weekend. We weren't planning on doing a review, but
we have to.
Yes. Because Sammy was going to fucking explode.
My other half has not seen this, and I've told him I've closed the door, which I never normally do. I am taking a risk on the carpet, by the way, everyone. I've told him to put his headphones on because it's gonna get spoilery in here, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, because like this movie was like we all knew we wanted to watch it, but I don't think any of us knew it was gonna like hit this big and hard.
Or hit us this big and hard.
Yeah.
Because the hype is like, it caught us at the last minute.
Yeah.
Like, I should have been hyped about this leading like months up to it. And because, like we talked about yesterday with how Marvel's been and superhero movies have been, it's disappeared.
It was scary. It was like, is this movie terrible? Like,
what am I walking into?
So before we get started, Sammy, do the beautiful and the amazing disclaimer.
I most certainly will. So, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on the Facebook page, the Discord, or the comment section, where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behavior out of nerdism. And in the immortal words of my podcasting partner Dan, don't be a dick.
To be fair, I haven't got the balls enough to steal Dan's line. So
I am adding it for this very special occasion because I feel like it could be needed.
So you feel like you need a prayer, but yes, like a prayer.
I'm living like a prayer. A prayer.
And if you haven't seen the movie yet, please turn us off. Please do not continue. We are going to be telling lots of spoilers. So spoiler warning, spoiler. This is
spoiler. Woo,
yeah, it's a full-on spoiler cast. If you want to know, then yes, we all liked it. That's why we're doing a podcast. There wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't think it was good enough.
Exactly, and we have done that before.
Yes,
we have had every intention of reviewing a certain movie, and when we went to see it, can't fucking get on and talk about that.
No.
Yeah.
So yes, we have done it before. We will not review something we do not deem worthy.
Well, not worthy. We just don't want to shit on something because people work hard on these movies, and just because we have the opinion that it's shit, we don't want to say this movie is shit. It's not a positive outcome. It's not really what we do. Yes.
We don't particularly want to sway people's opinions.
Yes.
We'd rather you go out and find out for yourself as opposed to listening to us and bad-mouthing it to the point where you go, oh, okay, well, if they think it's shit, I mean, like, I think my opinion holds any weight, but you know what I mean?
One day it will, and then I'll tell people everything's shit and they shouldn't watch anything.
Well,
then I'll be happy.
Apparently, I'm hard to please. I'm the easiest person to please, motherfucker.
Who said that?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Oh my god, that person does not know you. I've seen you at the cinema.
Oh,
I'm hard to please.
I'm going to comment this now because basically, bless my poor wife. Nick, I love you dearly. You watched this movie with me. I say I watched the movie. You spent most of the movie watching me freak the fuck out. There was so many different things where if you're a nerd, it's got so many different like things, especially if you know the comics, if you know like the backstories for certain aspects, or even just like say the characters. This is such a love letter to, I'm not going to say it because it's named Deadpool and Wolverine, but this movie is such a fucking love letter to Wolverine, to Logan, any which way you want to call him, Weapon X. Literally, it is basically a fan-made movie to showcase how fucking special this character is.
Couldn't agree with you more. I honestly felt it was a Wolverine farewell to 20th Century Fox, and welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because we want you to stay.
And we have needed this in Marvel world, so because I know they've like teased with R-rated movies, or like 15 or 18s if you're in the UK. Sorry for going all American on you guys. We have needed something where it's not edgy or thing. It's just fucking fun and brutal, and we used to having our heroes that's a little like, I know like say you can say Iron Man's a little bit murky, Cap's clean as out, Spider-Man is so lovable. You've got these characters that we do love in the MCU for a reason. But Wolverine is so damaged and so just fucking out there and raw and real. Bringing him into the MCU is just fucking magic. And that's probably the best way I can describe it, because it was just like an adrenaline shot up my arse that had me sitting straight up off my seat and just paying a fucking attention to Marvel again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there was no part in this movie where I like got bored and drifted away like onto the phone or anything. But yeah, like the violence surprised me because it's from like minute one. It's like incredibly violent, that whole thing with the Wolverine skeleton. Like,
oh my god. Oh my god, I did not see that coming.
No, not at all.
No. So yes, Jake's got the first spoiler out the way as well.
Oh yeah.
The homage to Logan, because as a lot of comic book nerds will say, Logan is one of the perfect superhero films. I used to say it was a perfect Wolverine film. Not anymore.
No.
It's a nice take, and you get to see almost old man Logan in a way that we thought we would only get to see. But
almost.
They didn't shit on it at all. They kept it pure, and they used it in a way that fucking brought the house down. And I'm sorry, with this movie and with this review, there is going to be a lot of F-bombs, because
a lot. You can't. You can't. I don't think we fucking can't. Like,
I think that was basically like, I think that was half of Hugh Jackman's script was like telling Deadpool to fuck off, basically.
No,
like,
fuck off, Bub.
Of the things he said.
Fuck off, Bub. The opening, Jake's opened it up perfectly with the opening scene with the whole Wolverine incident, but that fucking dance routine to NSYNC, bye bye bye, it is literally step for step.
Yes, it was accurate.
Yeah, and oh my god, it just fit perfectly. What an opening.
Well, like I say, what was the line? There's 126 bones in the human body, 127 if I'm watching Gossip Girls.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the tone we're going in now. And I thought it would be fun, but seeing him use Logan's just basically remains, every single part of him, as a fucking weapon to take out the TVA. was just like, wow. And
it's so inventive.
Yeah.
Like it's like like right from the get-go, you're like, oh, okay, so the people who've written this movie have tried really hard to like put new things in front of us that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I know
he got the claws to work somehow. I don't.
But he didn't get the claws to work. Like he got them. He got them at some point. But I love the fact that he didn't quite know how to maneuver his way out of people's bodies.
Yeah, he was
with
like,
them.
it's harder than it looks type of thing.
Yeah. But that was so great. Once we do we get his fight scene before or after when he goes forward a bit?
No,
it's
the ultimate Deadpool story. It's like, this is where we are now. To get to this point, this is what's happened.
We gotta go back.
Yeah,
the camera goes up his butt.
Yeah,
that's how we go back in time.
And this is where we get our first cameo.
Yes,
is where we go when we go back in time, because we see that Wade wants to go down a different path. He wants to matter. He wants to mean something, especially to his Vanessa.
Yes,
he wants to mean something, and he sits in front of Happy fucking Logan. Happy Hogan, Sam, you dick.
Happy Logan.
I had it so perfect, and I was like, messed it up at the last minute.
Fine.
Happy Hogan.
It was an interesting scene, that one though, because I was on like Deadpool's side of being like, Happy's a chump. Why is he betting people for the Avengers?
You're a chauffeur.
Yeah.
That's what you're here for. But I love the fact that in this timeline, Tony's still alive.
Yeah. No. Well, no, because basically this was back in 1998, 2018. Right, okay. So, because it said Earth, basically. So basically, because Deadpool still had the Cable's watch, so he went to their timeline to basically audition for the Avengers. So, so that's why that came up. Because that kind of threw me a little bit. I was like, all right, because we had like Deadpool hinting that, oh, I want to meet the big man, and he's like, no, the big man doesn't meet you.
He doesn't want to meet you, basically.
And plus, like, is this like referencing rumors of Deadpool showing up in Endgame and stuff like that? There's probably like to try and think about that.
Well, they did say afterwards that they released a lot of fake images and fake news to try and counteract the spoilers that were getting released. Like,
thanks for that, guys. There's people who run a nerd group.
Yeah, please stop.
Fake leaks.
Do you know what he actually wanted to do for this film? Because he was so sick of the spoilers. He wanted to not tell anyone about it, and just advertise a movie like a Western movie, and actually have the first few seconds playing of this Western movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and just at the very cusp of where the credits would come up to introduce the film, Deadpool and Wolverine would kick in. That's how he originally wanted to do it, because he was so fed up of all the leaked pictures. But he did very well to keep some of them under wraps, I've got to say.
Yeah, because that was the weird thing about this movie. As soon as there was like Wolverine in the suit, it was all over social media, and like,
all over.
Is that literally someone on the set being a bastard, like to Ryan Reynolds and like spoiling? Because like we're saying Ryan Reynolds because like this is like totally like his passion project, and I know he didn't make all of it. He was, he's acting in it, but like you can tell he really cares about this movie, and I feel like I would never betray him on sex. I mean, he's gonna kick my ass. Like he's 20
it was 2014. It was July 2014 that he released.
Well, did you hear the story behind this as well? I know we're going to go off and think, because I did a bit of a deep dive as well, because I think I posted saying like, oh, can you believe Ryan Reynolds leaked this video allegedly, and now where we're at. Do you know how it all started?
So he's just, I just watched the lie detector with him, and he wouldn't give anything away.
Right. So back before the released footage, he was signed on to play Deadpool in the Deadpool movie, and he pitched it to Fox, who turned on saying, no, we're not going to do a Deadpool movie because it's a thing. But, well, with him being attached to Deadpool, he was contractually obliged to appear in Wolverine, the Origins.
Like the X-Men series.
So he said the script for that was basically all the guys together. Wade says something really smart, really fast. There was not given any dialogue, so he had to make up all the stuff on the spot, and he was like, "What the fuck's going on?" So he actually did at this point. He did researched Wade and think this character deserves so much more. So he tried to.
Yeah.
He was fighting with the studio all the way through Wolverine and Wolverine Origins, to the point where the decision was made that they were sick of him trying to do stuff that it wasn't like it was actually Ryan Reynolds' fault.
They glued his mouth.
They glued his mouth shut. So that was because Ryan Reynolds was fighting so much to get the actual Deadpool that he wanted. So he said as well, if you look back at some of the action scenes, he filmed some of it, but then he walked off set and he refused to film anymore. So they actually got another actor in to finish off the scenes for that. And then since then, he'd been fighting so much to get the Deadpool that he actually, as I said, they shot the test footage and went, no, this is too violent. Nobody's going to watch this. That was the reason they said it was too violent. And he just went, fuck it. And he'll never admit it. And he'll always say, oh, well, some kind gentleman or some fan.
He kind of alluded to it on he did a lie detector, because obviously him and Hugh were doing a huge promotion around the movie, and they did a lie detector test, and that was one of the questions. That's how I knew the date was July. It was the 2nd of July, 2014, and he says, "Did you leak the Deadpool footage?" And he went, "Can we ask another question?" And even the lie detector guy went, "No, we can't answer the question." And he said, "I had a hand in it." That's all I'm going to say. But what I heard was that when they were sitting in a room, him and the director, who I think he's not the same director as the one who's
you had to fall out with the first one.
Yeah, they were sitting in a room with all the creators and everyone who was involved who wanted this to go ahead, and they all hesitated, and he walked over and pressed enter.
Yeah.
And that's how it got out.
Nice.
That's what I heard anyway, but he said he had a hand in it, but he didn't say he directly did it.
Well, where did the leak it to? Was it literally YouTube or like Reddit or something?
It was YouTube the day of Comic-Con.
I remember it.
So they made sure it was out there while everyone was busy, so people could download it so that it would never go away.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Because Comic-Con blew up. Like Comic-Con literally went wild with it. They even showed it on the big screen.
It was such a good
Yeah.
The Wolverine Origins movie is actually the movie that got leaked in 2010 that has the most illegal downloads of a movie that has ever been leaked.
It came out early, didn't it? Without some sound treatment on it.
It was the CGI. I had it.
Yeah.
There was no CGI on it whatsoever.
And like a placeholder soundtrack or something as well. Yeah.
So when you see them sitting on an aeroplane, you can just see them sitting on crates. There's nothing or anything like. And then when they're flying across the air, it's just like there might as well be a guy with an aeroplane going. Woo!
Yeah.
I think the Deadpool fight scene at the end is like him fighting like on green screen, like on weird things.
It's like just rolling around.
Yeah.
Going,
it was worth the watch, mind.
But yeah.
Oh, that Deadpool is so bad. I know they've already made fun of it, but what the hell were they doing with like a weird zombie man, like with everyone's powers crammed into him? Like, what's that got to do with anything?
But they said it because
the comic book character, it's such a disservice.
Yeah, they blamed it on the writers' strike. This because they said they couldn't change any of the script, so that's why a lot of the script was just basically blank.
It never. Yeah, that's the thing people don't understand about writers' strikes. So there's usually writers on staff while they're filming to fix things as it goes. So if you lose that, that's why you get really like clumsy stuff like coming in and bad sort of lines and things.
Well, this movie was affected by the writer's strike. They basically had the script that they use is the only thing they could use. So Ryan Reynolds or nobody else, they couldn't ad-lib. So everything, if it wasn't on the script, you couldn't say it. That was the agreement. So that was part of the writer's strike as well.
All right.
I wonder if it would have been. It seemed good enough. It seemed like stuff was ad lib. I wonder what it would have been if they could have done a few more variants.
I don't think there would have been made too many changes. I think maybe a few more cameos or a few extra people added in here and there, but or maybe more silly lines about like stuff that happened in other movies and things.
Yeah, but absolutely.
But yeah, it was like as you were saying with going back to where Deadpool was basically back in the now, how he's kind of like giving up on life. He's stapling a wig to his head.
Nobody knows about the wig.
It's a hair.
Everyone knows.
It's a hair appendage or something like that.
It's the fact that he keeps the staples in for absolutely ages.
But yeah, and it's like it breaks your heart a little bit. I know Deadpool isn't a nice guy and stuff, but seeing where he is in life through like the rejection and not knowing his place in the world, which was quite an interesting take, because a lot of people who've seen Deadpool and Deadpool 2 don't realise that like say Wade Wilson or Deadpool isn't a nice guy in the comics. He's a conflict. He's one of the worst people in the world, and I love that they kind of portrayed him as that in this movie, because he is very selfish and like a lot of the things he does, but as well with, again, I'm going to jump a bit because one of the big spoilers as well is with how he handles Chris Evans's cameo.
That's. I love the fact that there's no accountability on his part.
No.
And he proves that later on.
Yeah.
That's what I loved more than anything. He's like, oh, hell no, I didn't cause this. I'm going to prove this to you when you don't even think that it needs actually proven, because you're forgetting all about it by this point.
It was Cassandra, though, and she can find things out, as we learned in the movie. She can find out what people have actually said and haven't said.
She is a scary, scary ass villain.
Yes.
She's scary sexy, I would say. She's in that kind of the terror zone.
And the fact that Emma Corrin kept her own accent as well, I loved it even more. I was like, yes, girlie, I love that.
Certainly.
So what did you think about the TVA coming in? Because I didn't watch a second of Loki season 2 because Marvel really disappointed me up to that point. And the TVA kind of felt like a sort of dirty word when it kind of came up, and I was like, we're gonna dip back into this weird stuff, are we? Like,
it made sense in like the story.
It was a good way to get it moving. Yeah,
and again, they didn't go too far into like the say what had happened with Loki and stuff. I know Deadpool makes references, and that's again one of
season 1, which I had seen, luckily.
Yeah, same here.
But same here. But he's kind of like it's like, as I said, they use it as a vehicle. I thought the guy who played like Matthew McFadden was absolutely brilliant in his role. He was smarmy English.
You wanted to punch him immediately and constantly.
But it was interesting, like saying having like an offshoot of the TVA that's not following the rules of the TVA, and just like saying, right, we like almost like far like ultra. I'm trying to think of the right word, because it's not like far right, but it's kind of like a branch where they believe that pruning the timeline is the best way to keeping the sacred timeline secure.
I think like accelerationists would be the term. People who want who want to speed things up, like whatever it is. And
they know the inevitable is going to happen. They just might as well. You might as well get it over with now. Just do it now.
But so this kind of brings in some weird stuff, because they were like, okay, we have anchor people in every universe. If they die, which eventually they all would. I mean, Logan would live a while, whatever. If they die, it then causes the sort of slow death of the universe. And he's like, it can take thousands of years or whatever. So that gives Marvel an in and an out. It gives them an in to be like, this person's important and the universe will die without them. But it also gives them an out where they can be like, well, we did say it might take 1,000 years, so like it'll never come up ever again.
It's interesting that they've done that though, because like in previous, like this year with the multiverse, they've introduced like Nexus like people, like Nexus, like they said Scarlet Witch was a Nexus like person. I know in the comics there's Scarlet Witch, Jean Grey, where like in any universe they're important. And now they've got like anchor points as well, like one main character if that person goes. And again,
You've got that stuff from Spider-Man, the canon events that happen to every sort of version in some fashion. So it's like I say, it's really good that like I say the comics and movies and stuff are becoming very self-aware, but it is quite poignant as well, because I do believe in the Fox universe or the Fox movies, without like say Hugh Jackman Wolverine or like Logan,
that would have died a death a long time ago. Wouldn't have a strong thing. So it's
do you remember when he wasn't in the movies for a little while, and we're like, oh, holy crap, we've got to find some way to shoehorn Wolverine into first class because nobody's watching these things. And they did it, but he kind of just wandered about and didn't do much.
But his name was there, as long as his name's attached to it, because Hugh Jackman has done something that not a lot of actors can actually get in their lifetime. He has a character that will permanently be attached to him. There were, I think, him and I was going to call him Tony Stark, him and RDJ. You are going to be hard pushed to ever recast them to where anyone will be ever happy about it. He will permanently, as long as he can do it. I know he retired after Logan, and this is the movie that's kind of brought him back. Because he was like,
but they even make jokes about that in the movie, that they've given that, like the Disney money and stuff like that.
The Disney money's invited them in. I also love the fact that we had Deadpool's friends at his party before the TVA came and took him.
With the mustache, I can't remember his name.
Pete. I'm trying to look for his
Pete. Yeah, he's the canon event. Every Deadpool has a Pete.
Rob Delaney. Rob Delaney's just such a funny and like a good character. Like anything he does,
you just trust him, don't you? Like looking at his face.
And it's like, I'm glad they give him a little bit of a bigger part in this as well. Like how he's like
he saves the day.
He is the hero, the Pete pool that everyone needs.
Everyone needs a Pete. But I love the fact that he's got his. For all that Wade is trying to find his way in this world after the events with Cable, and then he had to bring Vanessa back, and him and Vanessa don't work out. Possibly, they don't really give like a bit of an like.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's just because he's self-defeating. Like as soon as she puts any pressure on him to like change his attitude, he just goes like, "Well, you hate me, don't you?" type of thing, and like, "Oh, you want to break up now."
To the
he's
point,
an accelerationist as well, with like his own sort of things.
But the fact that it doesn't take him very long when he's in that TVA room, when he finds out what's going to happen to his world, to realize that them people in that room mean more to him than anything in the world. All of them.
Photograph of everyone.
I love that. I love
man, how good's that running joke though about like when he sees that little clip of him and Thor, and he's like, "Hang on, what's that back there?
What's going on here?"
And Thor's like doing this like crying, like holding his head sort of thing.
Well,
and he keeps going back to it over and
he does
over
right
again.
all the way till the end, doesn't he?
I've looked into that as well. It's meant to be like test footage filmed for Secret War.
They did film Secret Wars.
So apparently,
that would be interesting,
because that's what like was a little joke in it. Because they always do like little snippets or little things for future things to come. Like they had the name of Endgame hidden, like certain things as well. But I know there's meant to be two little reference points for Secret Wars in this. There's like the comic that's in the desert when Wolverine and Wade have the first fight. Then there was meant to be that where the TV are kind of like brush it aside and say, "Oh, so you're not meant to say that. That was like, and that's in the future. That's in the far, far future." So that's meant to be Secret Wars element there.
I feel like I'm gonna on like a second viewing would have to be a home viewing because I need to like be able to
pause.
In the void, I was like, my eyes didn't know where to go to. Like, what am I looking at? What can I see here?
It was interesting how they did it, because obviously we'd all seen those like leaked shots with the 20th Century Fox logo like half buried in the sand. But when they got there, it actually made sense, because I was like, "Oh, are they just gonna like? Is this gonna be like a weird? Is it just the CGI or something?" I just couldn't really figure out what they were doing with that. 'Cause it's funny on paper, but I was like, "Is he gonna be like in a weird like the real world or something? Like, is he come out of the movies?" And kind of in a way that they were sort of took away from their universes.
No, definitely. And again, I think they were very clever with the choices and the people that picked as well. That way, I kind of cared about them, but there was others there that you weren't like, you were happy to see, but you weren't like, like I want to see more of them. But it was like, no, that's that person there.
This is the real problem with like Marvel nerds, because you do show someone and some people will just like blank the just lie and be like, "Oh, I would love an entire Pyro movie," and it's like,
no, you
would not. You would not see a whole Pyro movie. You have a fond memory of Pyro from X-Men 3. This is enough.
Yeah, I like the fact that when you. I know we're jumping all over the place, and I'm sorry,
but that's what that's what this film did. Though
the movie jumps all over.
Yeah, I love the fact of the X-Men that we see in the Void. I recognized every single one of them.
Right,
there wasn't a person in there that I didn't recognize. But
was the big guy Blob?
I don't know. I don't think so. He didn't
in
look
the sailor suit.
Yeah. No, no, that was the Russian from The Punisher.
All right, I definitely didn't remember that.
You remember?
There was a guy.
You remember Kevin Nash's character in the Thomas Jane? That's the Russian, but they just used a different actor for this time.
He like caves his face in or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think I thought I saw Blob open the gate, but I couldn't remember because Blob was in X-Men Origins, so he's only been in flashbacks, and I'm like, I don't remember what he looked like in that movie.
No, sorry, what you
Vinnie Jones was asked to come back for Juggernaut, and when he was like remembered the weight of the helmet he had to wear, he said no thank you. That's the reason why he was recast, and they made a point of saying you don't look the same as you did before.
Oh yeah, he's like is this year's Juggernaut? Yeah. That's interesting because like could they not have just made the suit better, because that means that someone else had to suffer through that suit instead of him. Can you not make the hat out of foam? Like, what's the problem here? It looks terrible anyway.
It's just Vinnie Jones being a dick. Let's be honest.
Maybe.
I think like if anyone had asked me to go in this movie and reprise like a stupid character, I would have absolutely said yes, because it looked like they were having a lot of fun running around on that sound stage together. You know, like all the little weirdos.
It was very Mad Max style.
It even had some of those like characters from like X-Men 3 who were like Magneto's new brotherhood. You know, that girl who like shoots little spikes out and stuff, little poison spikes. She's like a hedgehog person. She like hugs someone at some point and does like a hedgehog spike. And I was like, whoa, it's just all the randos from that one.
But Ray Parks, is it Ray Parks?
Yeah, Toad, yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool. I love the fact that they went back to the original.
To be fair though,
I'm a Toad fan, I like it.
Most of the characters that did come back, they were actually played by the actors from the things, like Kelly Ho from from X-Men 2. Lady Deathstrike was Lady Deathstrike. What's he called? The
Pyro was definitely correct.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that guy for a long time, but it was definitely him.
I recognized his face the minute he came on.
Yeah, Jason Fleming was Azazel from he was thing. Daniel Ramirez was Callisto. Trying to think. What was the other? Kelly Ho mentioned. So like say most of the characters that actually come back, like even Sabretooth was played by Tyler Mane.
Yes, I could tell.
Yeah, that was
and
definitely
he spoke.
Tyler Mane.
He got to speak this time.
Yeah, you could. It was the instant you saw him, I was like, "Oh Christ, that is Tyler Mane!" Like, look at how glorious he looks.
And then his head fell off.
Yes,
instantly.
Wolverine wasn't fucking about this time. That's why I loved about Wolverine, because he wasn't like. It wasn't just like scared to use his claws, because that's why I see in the old X-Men movies and thing, it's always been like he's been chopping through something, or
he's cut it out as well. Or they would hide it, where he would like.
Yeah.
There was a few times where he did like the chest stab in the old ones, but you wouldn't see anything. You wouldn't see them come out.
No blood splatter.
You wouldn't see the full berserker rage. Berserker.
Oh yeah.
Snick, 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 snick. But yeah.
I bet you wanted to do that so badly in the cinema.
I did do it in the cinema, to be fair.
It's every comic kid's dream to have the claws just for a bit.
Yes.
Does it hurt when they come out?
But yeah. Can we talk about the Wolverine variants as well?
Yes.
Can we please talk about that? Yes, can we do it? Because this is a moment I moved forward and went.
I cried. I literally cried. Not with sadness. Out
Nostalgia.
Of not just pure joy. Like literally, I've never been so happy to see some of these characters that tears rolled down my face. I was like, Nick was looking. I was like, I was weird. I was like, so that's Literally, when I saw Old Man Logan, I jumped up and said, "Fuck yeah!" I said, "Fuck yeah!" And I was like, I was half expecting it to be Clint Eastwood at one point, though. That was the thing.
Oh my god! If that had happened, I don't think I would have been mad at it. Old Man Logan has a very special place in my heart. And the minute I saw that, I went, "Hello there, Logan."
He just shot him immediately.
Just to explain, just to give some clarity and context, the reason why you get to see all the Wolverine variants is because Wade is being told that basically, Wade's got it in his head that if he gets a Wolverine or a Logan into his world, it will save his timeline.
Yeah.
So he's going on the hunt for a Wolverine.
Because he's in the universe where Logan died, which is why it's like crumbling.
Yeah.
So yes, he tries to bring in a different one to hopefully like course correct.
But I don't think anyone told him that plan would work.
No.
He just grabbed the little.
He just went. Yeah, he just went off and did it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the running joke with that little guy who was like working on the desk.
It's like, you filled your pants there, big fella.
Yeah, and it's like when his butt's coming towards him, and he's just
it's the look he gives him. It's so like subtle, but just there. So this is the reason why we get to have this amazing montage of Wolverines, and we get another cameo in this moment.
Well,
this is the big spoiler, right?
Yeah.
Like this is
huge. They've done so well to keep this under wraps.
Yeah, because I knew he'd been like, there was rumors he'd been like in meetings and said he's been in an unofficial role for Marvel. I think this is just like a tease for him to come into something else. I think we'll see him. But
has he been confirmed as Sentry? No.
No, that was a different
okay.
But I'm going to go through the cameos because there was one that I didn't know of, so I looked it up.
Okay.
So when he goes into like the future type thing, and there's like, one where he's like in a graffiti and he's got one arm, that was from the Age of Apocalypse universe, where
he had really big hair as well.
Yeah,
didn't he?
where basically Charles Xavier had been killed before the X-Men started up, so he was basically not Logan, he was Weapon X. So that was that one. We get the one that fucking. We got Patch. We got fucking Patch. Basically, almost like out of like a James Bond, which, like, say if you're a fan of the comics, Patch is like an alter ego for Wolverine, where when he goes to the island of Madripoor as a secret agent, a spy. So we got that, and there's a famous cover where it's basically Wolverine as Patch, and it's got a Hulk. But it's like Grey Hulk in the tuxedo as well, and it looks fucking amazing. We got the brown suited Wolverine as well. I love
brown and tan Wolverine.
Sammy, you explain this one because I know how excited you would be for this one.
Which one?
The brown, and when you see him, you wear the brown suit, and then all you hear is behind Deadpool. Weird.
Because he's like, aren't you the one who fought the Hulk?
And you see
my mind's gone completely blank. I can't picture it.
Oh, you can't picture it. Like, he goes in, it's like in the forest, and Wolverine's like in the brown and tan and walking towards him, and he's like, hey. He's even saying the name of the artist who he's got the look from such and such writer. And then you see the green hand behind, and you just see, weird go, and he splats him into the wood, and he goes, right, out of this one.
We didn't mention, obviously, I mean, people have seen it, but yes, he's like, Wolverine is immediately killing these Deadpool without hesitation. Also, the size accurate Wolverine was one of my favorites.
Yes, comic book, exactly.
Because that was the first one we met.
But if you didn't know this, I've got the exact height because I wrote this down. You know how tall Wolverine is in the comics?
Can I guess?
I'm thinking like 4'8" or something.
5'2".
5'3", Sammy's closest. So
yeah. So like, and this is like, they've been reading comments where people are just like, Hugh Jackman's too tall to play Wolverine.
Yes.
And then they're like, oh well, here you go. This is what it would look like.
But then, like I said, when you get size accurate, that you just kind of doesn't even bother. You just like, walks away. But that's why there's been cries of a lot of people wanting Danny DeVito to play Wolverine down the years, because he would be.
He could have been that cameo. Like that would have been funny, but it might have been a bit too much. Like,
On the nose.
Well, just a bit too distracting, I suppose, and then all the
especially with the cameo that you do get in this one.
Yeah, but just before this, like one of my favorite covers of an X-Men comic, where you see Logan up against the crew, almost like a crucifixion, but he's like on the X with all the skills. Is just so beautiful. It looks amazing.
That's what got me. That's what made me shift forward and go, are you fucking serious now?
And he's just like, what happened in this world?
It was the
he
Reavers.
Kind of like backs away, doesn't he? He's like, I'm just going to stay away from this one.
It was the Reavers guys. They're not nice people, but yeah. But yes, then we got
around any universe.
then we got the hints of like this absolutely beautiful man.
Because the cut away from it. Because when I was watching it, I was like, have they done a version where they've cut this out and it literally is just a back that we're gonna have to like Google and find out that he's in the credits? But
because he at this point he just keeps going, he's beautiful, he's big, but this is the guy, this is the one.
Then it cuts to like him getting attacked, I think, by a bunch of the other ones. And then we get the face reveal.
Yes. And then we get the joke. The fucking joke is like, he's like, oh, I'm so happy you're here. Don't worry, we'll look after you better than the other guys.
Yeah.
I can't believe you finally came.
And then he's just like, get out.
But Henry Cavill does look like a fucking sexy Wolverine.
We said his name.
Yeah.
I've just been waiting for one of us to say it. I was like, say that name.
Say my name, bitch.
This is why recasts are okay sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, because
he does the voice as well. He's great.
Yeah. If we were doing like a younger version of Wolverine, I feel like he would fit in perfectly. I wouldn't be mad if he took the claws and ran with them. But I still think Hugh Jackman after this has still got some fight in him, still got some Wolverine there.
Well, after let's say after they've made $200 million this week.
I feel like he probably would. Yeah, I feel like that might sway him a little bit.
Didn't make any from me.
But yeah, the rumours are Disney have opened negotiations for a new with Ryan and Hugh already. So
okay, well that's good, because I just want to say, like, overall, not like summing up or anything, but like this movie did stuff that I have been wanting the MCU to be able to do for like a very long time, and I'm talking like these cameos and stuff, or like old characters returning, but they're not making like a huge deal out of it. It's not like when Thor was with the Guardians of the Galaxy and everyone's like, that means Thor's going to be in the entire movie. It's like they unlocked a door where they're like, we can have fun cameos, but it doesn't have to like derail the entire like marketing or like the entire story. It's like, this is what you can do in the comics where Deadpool can just go and meet some of the characters because all you've got to do is draw them. And it's where they get stuck in the movies because they've got to hire the actors back. And it's like, this felt like somehow they unlocked themselves and were like, no, we can have Chris Evans playing his Fantastic Four character. Why can't we? We put it on screen like years ago. And I'm really happy that they managed to do it.
Yeah.
That fucking moment broke me. It still kind of broke us because I am not only a huge Captain America fan, I am a huge Chris Evans fan. And I'm
he's really good as Cap.
Yeah, and I am a huge Fantastic Four fan as well. So to have him there was just, I know it's from where we're at with the Wolverine variants. We've skipped a bit forward, but I hope that's okay.
Not too far forward.
I hope that's okay. I just love the fact that when you see him, he's got red, white, and blue on him. So you instantly think to yourself, you are looking at Captain America. Because why would you not? Why would you not be?
Yeah, that is true. I am colorblind though, so I didn't pick up on any color scheme things. And I was watching a cam rip, so it was washed out of it. But no, that was hilarious. He was like, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say Avengers Assemble, and he's just like, play him on. But then he's so lame as well because Pyro just turns him off because I guess Pyro controls fire, not makes it.
But and you think if Johnny's been in the void for so long, how did he not remember that?
Yeah. Oh, and then he takes like a massive like cartoon spill where he like looks like he breaks his neck on the floor. That was a bit strange, like thinking back on it.
I actually thought he was going to be dead after, like, when he hit the hit-off thing. I was like, okay, is that how Johnny dies? I was like, all right.
But that's how I was thinking. When what happens to Johnny later on happens, I was like, oh, okay, so every variant we're going to see now, they're just going to end up being killed. And I was like, oh, well, I might as well not get myself attached to these people.
Yes, because that's what they did in Doctor Strange, didn't they? Yeah, where they just killed all of the Illuminati people immediately.
Yeah, and it kind of like spoiled a little bit. It's like, all right, I kind of like having these characters there and you just taking them away. And now it's kind of like, oh. And again, I understand the Johnny Storm one because it kind of made sense to the movie to move it forward. And it would be a very weird Wilson thing to do to kind of fuck it up that way.
It was a very brilliant joke there where the punchline was probably an hour after it was meant to be. That was my favorite part of it. But yeah, they give me John Krasinski and took him away like that. They give me my Reed Richards and took them, and that's how I felt that this was gonna go down with the rest of these cameos.
Yeah, it wasn't quite. It was some of that, but I feel like they treated them with a lot more like love. I'm not going to say respect because I don't really think you should respect fictional characters.
No, but
we're getting a lot of that talk with the whole Doctor Doom thing right now. But no, they showed that they loved Johnny Storm, you know, and like that they thought it was a funny idea, and like he mentioned Reed, so that like the sort of like linked it back into the universe a little bit. Thinking back now, I would have probably preferred if Michael Chiklis had showed up as the thing. That would have been so
brilliant. Just at some point, just behind him, like, wait for me.
He's such a good actor, though. He would have been great in this movie, especially against Deadpool.
And I love the fact that Johnny had his a Brooklyn accent. Like that's Chris Evans talking. That's not him being Steve Rogers or any
other character. He was sweary as well. He didn't watch his language.
He did not. So yeah, that was Chris Evans's actual accent coming out. I loved hearing it. Yeah. It was brilliant, and he looked so well. He looked so. It was nice to see him not like uber super buff.
Yes.
Like,
that's why I kind of knew it wasn't going to be Cap when he wasn't.
My head just instantly went, "That's Steve Rogers."
I was thinking to myself like about that. I was like, because everyone's going to want him back in some form now that Robert Downey Jr.'s announced to come back. And I'm thinking, like, he probably doesn't want to put the bulk on again. Yeah. Like, he's probably just let it go, like, at this point.
I've heard the rumor mill that he is, along with Tom Hiddleston, for the next movies.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's just rumors, honestly.
I didn't know
you don't
Tom
know what to believe.
Had Tom wanted to stop after Loki, like, or I hadn't really heard that.
I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't know his wife was in the Marvels.
I know Tom because like I say, Tom's part of the tree now, isn't he? So that's where Loki's turning like the tree. But I do think
we don't know. Me and Sam.
Yeah.
Is he turned into Odin's tree?
He's turning. Oh, I've got one of the kind now. It's like
Yggdrasil or whatever you say.
So he's basically part of the sacred timeline now, where he's he's creating the branches.
He's more of a god.
He's turned into Loki the god type thing now. That was the end of season 2 of Loki. Again, spoiler for you guys now. But yeah,
I was never going to watch it.
But there's been loads of rumors flying around for a while that they're going to be bringing Steve back in some way. But again, Secret Wars is the way to do it, and again to tell that story and to move things forward.
I love Captain America. I love his portrayal of it. That's the one where I probably wouldn't want to see a recast because I'm like, I think we've had like the perfect Captain America sort of on screen.
And it took a lot for Chris Evans to win a crowd over. Nobody wanted him. Nobody when he got cast as Captain America. I wanted him in every aspect. But yeah,
I really liked the first Avenger. Like I was happy when I came out the cinema for that one.
It's one of my favorites. I think it's such a good origin story, and it really gives you the person Cap is.
Good half movie, second half terrible. But yeah, we'll get into that argument another day. But yeah, this cameo initially, like say with Johnny Storm, that's where I think the news of today, like that we got yesterday with Robert Downey Jr., which we talked about quite extensively on the Spider-Man podcast. Go and check it out.
Yes, it is.
Basically, that's where that is less of a shock and more, yes, this will work for me personally. I know a lot of the fandoms are going, like kicking up a storm about any which way they can.
There's a lot of divide.
But the way they did this in Deadpool and the care they did with Deadpool makes me think, I'm not really. That's why when we were talking about it, it's like it's a different variant of Tony, but it's always not Tony Stark. It's just
I've heard Anthony Stark being thrown around today, who's like the Earth 10, 11, 12 version or something.
I can never keep up with how many Earths there is. I know when I was watching the panel today, I had it on in the background earlier on, and I thought he said variant of Victor Von Doom or variant of Tony Stark, and he didn't. He said there's no one else to play Victor Von Doom, and that's when he came out. I don't care what they do with him as long as he's in the Russo's hands. Like, look at what they've given us.
Just don't give us a Tony Stark version of Victor Von Doom. Give us
a
Victor. Give us this ego. It's Robert Downey Jr., so he's going to have an ego. Don't make him snot and shappy. Make him sinister. Make him just a cunt. Again.
Yeah, because that's what he is. He's the fucking worst. Do it. Yes. Don't be scared. Don't hold any punches. Just do it.
And I'm allowed to drop C-bombs because the C-bomb was dropped a lot in this movie with there being a 15-hour shot.
It was. There was a couple of in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, Dogpool got called a cunt skin.
Oh, that dog is beautiful.
This is where we see like all of the X-Men Last Stand chuckle fucks.
Chuckle fucks.
And this is where we get like our this is where we get our big bad, technically.
Cassandra. The Paul Rudd joke as well, which we already heard, but you're still funny.
I did not know anything about Cassandra Nova.
No, me neither.
Before maybe like a month ago, when people were like, "Oh,
that's Cassandra Nova."
Well, yeah, when she was in the trailer, and then people were like, "Did you know she Professor X killed her in the womb, and then she lived in the sewer or something?" It's like until she reformed into a person. I'm like, I did not know that, but that sounds like peak X-Men storyline.
That sounds like super duper. You gotta know your X-Men shit. Because I don't.
Yeah, because the thing with the X-Men, and again, I love. That's concerned. I love basic X-Men. I love early X-Men. The storylines are quite cohesive. It's quite fun. The problem you get when the X-Men, like the more the team build and the powers build, you have to build these really far-reaching and convoluted bad guys to try and say, to match the powers. So if you've got the team of X-Men that's like got, like say, Jean Grey at a full power, like Cyclops, Wolverine, and Charles, who can basically control every mind. When you've got to think of someone, right? Who's going to match them? That's earthly bound. We'll give Charles a twin sister that's got like his powers, but tenfold and stuff like that.
Yeah, because she won't hold back.
She was terrifying. The way she crept into people's minds.
That fucking hand thing.
She needed to stop.
Yes,
they lingered on it so long as well, didn't they? Like, you know, like normally, normally in like horror movies, it would just be for like 10 seconds at most, and this was like a good while. You were watching her stick a hand like through the back of someone's eyes.
Yeah, how she reminded me a lot, and especially just probably more of her no shit attitude was Tennant. As in Jessica Jones, she reminded me a lot of his character, of how sinister, like she was so unpredictable. You didn't know, like what she did to Johnny was horrific.
What did she do exactly? Just like
she skinned him,
deleted his skin, and then all of his bones fell apart.
Then pretty much flayed him, and then just blew him up.
Yeah, then everything, all his body parts and organs just fell on the floor, and in quite a visceral thing. It wasn't just like, this looks funny.
That was Chris Evans being like, "I'll play Johnny Storm, but I'm not coming back. So figure out something. You guys sort that out.
You kill me off somehow." It was Logan where he's like, "You just got him fucking killed."
But then Deadpool, like, weird, just shows no, like, say, conscience, and he's like, nope, wasn't me. Nope.
Because he made this.
Well, to be fair,
speech.
they told him he's in the trash pile, so I feel like he probably didn't care as much about these guys because he was like, "They're getting out of here at some point." Hopefully.
Yeah, he made this huge speech that Johnny had said all this horrible stuff about Cassandra.
That we didn't hear initially.
Every single word of it. Yeah. We didn't hear any of it, and he denied it. But Cassandra clearly knew the truth, and
just
But then we find out that he was sort of a part of a little group of freedom fighters anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe she was going to kill him anyway, whether or not Deadpool made the jokes. Because she could probably tell Deadpool was lying as well, because he's not like a convincing liar half the time.
No, it's fine. No. Just to mention, because there's a few points I wanted to go over as well. We're all leading up to it. The cameos for like the people that were in the Outback that Johnny alluded to as like being there trying to the freedom fighters, shall we say. One of them was spoiled in the trailers, which again pissed me the fuck off. X-23 being is X-23.
Right. Laura Linney. Oh God, I read X-23.
So Laura, it was Laura.
She does say Laura.
Yeah. Her bring back, but it's the Laura from Logan as well. So, like I said, that's the kind of.
She's just been in that. She was just in Star Wars Acolyte as well. I think she's really good. She's always dead like convincing in anything I've seen her.
Laura Kinney. Laura Linney's an actress. Yeah. Laura Kinney is X-23.
But yeah, so. Like having her coming back, I know, like I said, that would have been a weighty punch if I wasn't already waiting for it. But the others, again, I know, like I say, with this movie, so many different rumors flew about. Like they told us everyone was going to be in. But the three that we saw was probably the most unlikely three that we were ever going to get. Like Jennifer Gardner's Elektra walking through the door, looking fucking amazing.
She looked so good.
I was in the cinema to see Elektra. It's not my fault it bombed.
I've never seen it, and I really liked
I really liked the old Daredevil as a kid. It's probably bad, but like
I didn't mind it. Like Ben Affleck's good in anything he does. He was a bomb in Phantoms. But yes, then we get fucking Wesley Snipes' Blade, which just fucking shocked the life out of me. Like
it was
how.
He was different though, wasn't he? Like I don't mean just looks. Like it was kind of as if he'd forgot how to play the character.
A little bit. There's definitely some body difference, like mass difference, sure. And it was very noticeable under the weight of his outfit that he had on. Obviously, the outfit would have been very similar, just for continuity of what he wore in the original movie. It was a bit noticeable. But what we have to remember is Wesley Snipes is of an age.
Yes,
and
to be fair, he's just getting out of jail as well. So
he's been out of jail for years now. Years. He paid his time.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I can't say for sure, but it feels like he went in there thinking he could remember how to do Blade, but hadn't like watched the movies or anything to prepare.
I love when he was like, "And I am the only Blade," and he's like, and Deadpool's like, of
but
course.
That might be true. Like what Blade?
We don't know. Yeah. We generally don't know because Blade is not on the slate anymore.
No.
It's been taken off. It's been put on. It's been taken off, and at this very moment in time, it's not even being brought up. There's just a lot of speculation with Mahershala Ali's the way he's been working with directors, writers.
Apparently, rumored.
A room, apparently, yeah. I don't know for sure. I don't work in Hollywood, but
it's just making me think about like all that stupid stuff in Eternals. That was like, this magic sword is talking to the man.
That's the thing. That's one thing Kevin Feige has ruled out. He says there won't be in Eternals too.
I'm good as I mean, in the universe who liked the Eternals.
No, sorry, because I mean, at the end of Eternals, it linked into Blade. Because it was like a magic sword was talking to him. I don't know, but then yes, you're right. There was like an end credits for the Eternals where it was like, it's me, Thanos' cousin, Swazzy Wazzle or something, and it's like I'm supposed to know who that is, like just a Gremlin man.
I had no idea who that was either. I had to. It was Harry Styles, that's for sure, but I did not know who the the character was.
Yeah.
But this next cameo is the one that literally floored me.
But I just want,
did it?
Floored me.
Just before we get into that cameo, there's one line I can't not see it as well, because I know you mentioned about the not another blade, but the joke, because I didn't want to interrupt you, sorry, the joke that Ryan Reynolds says, it's like Blade, he says, I don't like you. And he goes, well, you never did. And it's such a good callback to how they were on Blade Trilogy set, because they fucking hated it. Well, Wesley Snipes hated everyone, but he hated Ryan Reynolds so much.
I forget Ryan Reynolds. I honestly forget what Ryan Reynolds has been in and what he's not been in at this point.
Well, he kind of plays Deadpool in that movie, like effectively.
That was one of his questions in the Lie Detector was, do you just play Ryan Reynolds in every role that you do? And it's like, yes, and he was telling the truth.
Kind of.
He's just himself. He doesn't act.
Yeah, because I think like it doesn't matter that we're skipping around, but like there was the good pool as well, who was like the lame version of him with the long hair and stuff like
it's
that.
The sorry.
Yeah.
In his Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Oh, his beautiful face.
That hair.
That was so funny.
Was so beautiful.
It was really creepy though. I hope Ryan Reynolds never plays a character like a nice.
Just trying to think though. Is Jake our good Jake that we've got? Is there a Deadpool Jake out there?
Yeah, there would be. I'm the nice one.
Well, you are on Nerdy Jesus. Oh no, because he was Marvel's Jesus, wasn't he?
Yes.
I do have a dog as well. So if the evil Jake wants to take me away, I have to have words.
I thought you were going to offer Zeus up there. I was like, don't you care? Don't. But yeah, the final cameo in this section was something we never thought we would ever see in this lifetime. I don't think he ever thought he would ever do in this lifetime. But my God, was it brilliant. I can't shout it because Ant hasn't seen this film. So can someone do the
Channing Tatum
as Gambit with the worst Cajun accent I have ever heard in my life? I
thought it was brilliant.
Oh, get fucked.
Is it? Because I thought the joke was how bad everything about him was, like the outfit. Like,
the outfit.
He never got a movie. He never got placed in anywhere. There was the one line where everyone's talking about where they're going off to if they get out of the void, and he just went, I don't know where I belong, because
he was like,
he's never been.
No, like some of us never got to like some of us didn't finish our story, and he's like, some of us never started our story type of thing. Like every time they said something, he had like a line for it.
The lives I could have saved.
Yeah.
But the backstory behind it is so heartbreaking as well, because they had the whole huge Fox had the whole huge Comic-Con moment where they showcased all the plans. It was like the X-Men was going to do so well. I think it was just after Days of Future Past. So they announced the cast for coming up, the Age of Apocalypse, and he was announced that he was going to be producing, because he put his own money in the Gambit movie. So they were just looking to get that off the works, and that was the joke where he was part of that whole thing. Then Fox, not telling these people, went, we're going to sell it all to Disney, and then everything got fucked.
Honestly, it was a long-standing rumor within nerdism that he would be this character, and the fact that he has getting to do it, I don't care in what capacity. I'm really pleased I saw it.
How nuts is this though, that it's effectively a fan character, because there was no test footage that we could see. There was no concept art, so if you typed in Channing Tatum Gambit, you would only see fan photoshops before this movie. And how crazy is it that they made that a character and just rolled with it completely and just acted that it was normal?
His fight scenes were badass as fuck.
The card throwing, the card throwing was cool.
It was interesting. I thought it was intentionally to look bad. I thought that was the joke.
Probably was, because he's never had a starting point, so It doesn't.
Also,
it didn't matter what he came out as or how he sounded because he has no form of reference to go off.
I did like how he had like the weird head sock that a lot of the X-Men had in the 90s.
Loved it.
And the staff, and he had his staff as well. I was yes.
They didn't call attention to it, but it like he was using it in the fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, that got me excited. But then there was elements as well, and again when they got the fight scene as well, all of them got the moments, and we got the little
Blade did his little boomerang thing that everyone loves.
We got the little heartfelt speech as well, where Logan's pretty much just giving up. He just wants to just basically walk away and drink his problems away, and then Lauren basically says, "Look, we're not going to do this without you. We can't win without you," type thing. And he's like, "I'm not the guy I'm not the guy you think I am." And she goes, "You never are until you are."
Yeah, he's not the guy because he always just wants to run off and stuff like that.
This with this variant of Logan that Deadpool finds, it's probably the worst one because he's the most broken one. He's an alcoholic. All he wants to do is just drink his time away because there's nothing else for him to do. He is riddled with guilt. He is riddled with grief. I really got feels of Old Man Logan from this. It's so in his world, in his timeline, the X-Men all get killed and he didn't do anything to stop them.
Yeah.
He let it happen. In Old Man Logan, it's him. He's been kind of controlled by somebody, and he's the one who kills the X-Men.
Right.
And then he wakes up with them in front of him, and that is like the huge twist in Old Man Logan. Sorry to spoil it for you, but it is the huge twist in Old Man Logan. That twist right there was the reason I got into comic books. Was because I never had a moment where I went,
where you turned the page and you were like, "What the hell?
What did I just read?" So I was getting some really strong Old Man Logan vibes from this one when you started to piece it together that there was something. So he's not just broken because he's broke. There's a reason why he's broken.
And I really liked his reason because like in other like lesser stories it would just be like, oh, you know, it was like he was there and like, you know,
he was out
Magneto,
of time.
they tried to save Xavier but like Magneto like snapped his neck or whatever, and it's like but in this one it was like he was out getting drunk, blackout drunk, while the X-Men were being attacked by, you know, like the mob. Like it's always like the torch carrying mob.
He actually said the humans this time as well. So
and then after that he was just like, and I went killing and I didn't stop. And it's like so he basically tarnished the entire like mutant race's name because they're like, oh well, they're all like angry savages type of thing.
And that's exactly like him. And that was his reasoning for not taking off the suit as well, the yellow suit, which looks fucking amazing. Like they've made jokes so many years saying, "Oh, we can't have X-Men in the outfits." Yeah. Oh, when they do, wow!
You've just got to be confident about it. Like it's not even about the design half the time. It's literally just show it on screen, just do it, and like
don't be scared.
If you believe it, the fans will just come along
exactly
with you.
If you're confident in it. Exactly. I love the line when, you know, Logan finally comes around after Laura's spoken to him and he's had his bit moment, and he says, "I'm finally proud to wear this suit."
Yes, because there's also a really good line where there's a good line where he's like, "I just want like Charles to be proud of me," type of thing. Like he just wants to be the person that he'd be proud of, because like that's another thing, isn't it? Like that's Charles' whole thing against Magneto is like, if you go around killing all the humans, you'll just make this like 100 times worse for everyone, like for everyone who's a mutant. And like that almost proved it. Like Wolverine did the thing that he always thought, like, oh, maybe I should just kill the racist humans. What difference would it make? But he like learned what difference it makes. Like it's very interesting for X-Men to cover.
It sets the mutants back so many years of something that you know, someone he's claimed to love has been fighting for all this time, and he set it back years.
And you often don't know what Wolverine's thinking a lot of the time.
And it was nice to get into his head and to there's some really hard moments with Logan in this movie.
Yeah, and that's why I said at the start. That's why I said at the start this was a complete Wolverine movie rather than a Deadpool. I know Deadpool's like keeps the thing going along, but this is basically how Wolverine is in there, and he takes you on such a journey, and it shows you why he is an anchor point in this universe because of like I say, what's going on, but.
Also, like how good were the random like fights that they had between each other? Like between
it was like every 2 minutes.
But like the car one especially was like really funny, but also like insanely brutal. But because both of them are effectively like immortal with like the healing factor, it's just you can just do anything to each other.
That's what I was just about to come. That's what I was just about to come to. So good segue there, Jake. The fight scene I really wanted to discuss because, like, say, you go from the beginning, like intro, where Deadpool's fucking everyone up with Wolverine's skeleton. Then we get the first when, like, say, they get to the void, and that's where we get "Let's fucking go." And Deadpool says, "Get ready, kids." Looks at the camera, and we get the first fight, and it's just brutally amazing, like how
all
vicious
the katanas in it.
And his little tiny knife as well. Like everything's getting stuck in. Like the way Wolverine's using the claws on Deadpool as well. He's basically shiskabar him up, like tearing him apart.
How many times did he go for the ball area? I mean,
but to be fair, if you've got knives, I would go for the balls every time.
That's the hilarious thing, isn't it? Like Wolverine's been in all these like PG like movies, and it's like he's made of knives. Like you've never let him be like actual Wolverine. And I know in the comics it's not like blood and guts everywhere, but like there's times and places. Yeah, like if you've got Wolverine, that's what he's used for. Like he's a sharp object, you know, sent at a problem. So, like it can't always be a robot.
No.
But and then and as Jake said, the car scene is just fucking amazing. How they tear that car apart, like inside and out, and how they just keep on like brutalizing each other. And
it's got the little coexist sticker on it. It's like, well, you can just hear them like stabbing each other.
The car belongs to Good. Is it Goodpool?
Yeah, Goodpool. Yeah, like because he's
Goodpool.
And then
this car belongs to him.
Yeah, and then you get like say. Again, another point where I didn't know why I was tearing up, just how beautifully amazing it was when you get Wolverine and Deadpool against all the different Deadpool variants. Literally,
that was really cool.
Like the way they set it up as well. I get Goodpool who acts like a human shield, and he like made the joke again, showing Deadpool that he is an absolute bastard and doesn't care about anything.
But he's like, but he's going to regenerate. And
he's like, how long does it take you to regenerate?
And he's like, what? No, I don't regenerate. And it's like, oh shit! And I'll just keep using them as a human shield. The Deadpool variants were genius, with Lady Deadpool leading the pack. Was brilliant. And honestly, this is why second viewing has to be at home, because there was so much going on. I could hear Matthew McConaughey. I was like, what the fuck's he? Like there was voices I could hear, and I was like, who are you?
But and like say the whole army of Deadpools that go against him, but that fight, like as soon as they go around the corner, like and like say Wolverine puts the mask up. And I think it was just because all the way through the movie he's had his mask down and he puts it up and you see him with the head. And Deadpool makes the blowjob joke, saying, "No, there are things where you grab hold for your blowjob." But
he's like, what's the wind resistance like on those blowjob handles? Something like that.
But to see him with like the eye coverage as well.
He says as well, like he's like, "Oh, you've been saving something for the big finale."
Yeah,
it looked good though. Like
so good.
The only problem was, I think, when they were talking to each other, it was a bit hard. Like they had no eye line on each other.
Yeah.
That's the only part where it looked a bit silly, but like in action, it looked really good.
It looked amazing. It looked absolutely amazing. We had some really good Deadpool variants in there as well. There was Canada Pool, who was Ryan Reynolds' stunt double.
Makes sense.
Welsh Pool,
Yep.
Who is the footballer in Wrexham?
Yep. The striker, the star striker. Yep.
Kidpool was his kid.
Yep.
She's the worst one.
The daughter, yeah. Blake Lively, his wife, is Lady Deadpool only in voice, not in action. I don't know if it's her walking down. I'm not too sure, but it was more voice.
Why are people going so nuts about Lady Pool? Can I just ask? Is it because they want to have sex with Deadpool?
No, there was there's probably that, but also she revealed on her Instagram that back when she was doing Gossip Girl, I don't know, I'm probably going to butcher this story.
Rob Liefeld revealed that when he created story, he created Lady Pool and based her looks and features when they finally unmasked her on Blake's character from Gossip Girl, because he was a huge fan. And then he met her at a gala or something like that. But when he based on it, this was before Ryan Reynolds and Blake had got together. They had no knowledge of each other, so it was kind of like a serendipity moment. But when he met her, he was so nervous about telling her, he butchered it and didn't say it. So then he posted it before this movie came out and said, "It's so amazing," and told basically the story. And Blake Lively commented and said, and basically saying, "That's how I fucking know I'm based on a character."
Find out. But he did it well before this movie was in talks or something, because it's that's the special part of it, is that we're not just saying all this because we're here now. This all happened years ago down the line. What she wore for the premiere though was unfucking real. She wore a all-in-one catsuit, but it was the red material of Deadpool, and her bag was a ball and chain. Absolutely brilliant. I have had such a turning point on Blake Lively. I never had an opinion on her until I've heard the way that she speaks about Ryan. I think she's fantastic. She's
been nice to one of you guys in the MCU. You're now accepted by the nerds.
She's just got such a great sense of humor as well. Her,
you'd have to live with Ryan Reynolds. I think.
But you know when Vanessa always says to Deadpool, "Your crazy matches mine." I genuinely think that's them too.
Yeah,
I think I think the relationship that he's wrought between Vanessa and Wade is him and Blake. That's because them two are just so so funny.
But and this is where after this amazing final fight with all the pools, and you see them all all the pools, and and you think the baby's sitting there, and you think, oh fuck, they're gonna fuck up the baby now.
I thought they were gonna shoot the baby.
That is Ryan Reynolds' baby. His child number 4.
I'm glad in hindsight they didn't then. Then they all start regenerating, and you find out the whole fight scene was kind of a waste of time. There's the dismount as well, where they jump out the back of the bus and Deadpool trips over right at the end. Wolverine's perfect and is proper hunched over gremlin pose.
But then we get the true hero of the day who comes and saves them. We get fucking Peter Pool.
Peter Pool. It's when he walks out in that suit, and it's like, oh Jesus, where's my eyes supposed to go?
When I saw it, I was like, who the hell is this? What joke is it going to be?
It's the fact when he's standing in front of the TVA woman at the end, and she's like, I'm liking what I'm seeing right here.
I love that. Deserved.
Everyone needs a Pete. I loved that message.
But and this is I know we're jumping back a little bit now, but we find out how fucking scary Cassandra is when she when she survives the attack, and Wolverine does the hero thing and saying no, rather than letting her die, because as along Pyro, being the little skeezy little twat he is doing a deal with the TVA to kill Cassandra to kind of get out of the void.
Well, their initial plan was to get Juggernaut's helmet on her to stop her, to kind of suppress her powers.
That's always how you stop a Charles. Or
it's to suppress her powers, and that's what they were there for.
Yeah, because that's when you get the line about Magneto, because he's like, surely there's a Magneto around here somewhere. We can use that helmet. And they're like, she killed Magneto and destroyed the helmet, and he's just like, God damn it.
But it was that's what I loved about the fact that they didn't need to rely on big names to be part of this, because anytime you mentioned a big name, Daredevil, he's dead.
Yeah.
Punisher, killed him.
Like, I think Ben Affleck was supposed to be in this at some point. Because like that would have been like I think rather than Elektra, wouldn't that have been funnier? Or rather than Gambit, maybe wouldn't it have been funnier if like Daredevil showed up? Do you think?
I like the Jennifer Garner jokes, like Daredevil's Dension. I'm not too sad about that.
Yeah, I like the fact that they get that she got her shining moment.
Yeah,
because let's be honest, Ben Affleck's had his.
Yeah,
he was Batman for fuck's sake. Like he's all right. Like let her in the superhero genre have her moment.
Yeah,
but as I said, when we find out how fucking scary Cassandra can be, when she whips out a little key, a little ring thing, and she goes, "Oh yes, some sorcerer, some random magician guy came in here at one time. I wore his skin for 5 days, and it turns out it's fucking Stephen Strange.
Some kind of strange, yeah.
Some kind of strange. It's the fact that when she said I've been wearing his skin for 5 days, I was like, bitch, stop.
But then you think, oh yeah, she's going to have some like nice little moment. Redemption's just going to live in the void. But then she realizes what happened when Pyro basically tells her the plan, or what the plan was. Yeah. She's like, the TV want to mess with me now. I'm going to fuck with them. And
yeah, because they've kind of left her alone for such a period of time, haven't they? But I love the fact that when they when she's got the helmet on, and she's like, the minute this helmet comes off, I will kill you. And they're like, no, you don't mean that. It's gonna. And he's like, no, I really mean it. I will skin you alive. She picked no bones about the fact that she's a dick, and she's going to continue to be that dick.
So this is the part of the movie that I thought was like a little bit weak, but also Deadpool had made the joke at the start, but then they did it anyway because he's like, "Oh, what's that MacGuffin?" when he was showing him the Time Ripper on like the little TV screen right at the beginning. But it's kind of like, I think sometimes like parody media gets into that trap where they're like, "Oh, if we make a joke about the thing, then that clears us," and it's like, but you actually still did the thing at the end. Like at the end of everything, you still had the magic machine that can destroy the world, that can only be stopped by a noble sacrifice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a little bit rushed, I thought, and not super with the rest of it.
I totally get what you mean. Was Cassandra trying to put herself in the timeline?
No, I think she was deleting it.
She was
deleting it, right? Okay, I didn't quite get that. So I was like,
she was like, she was like absorbing it, so she would then have the power to basically take away, like just basically prune timelines at will.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Which I think her plan was to prune all of them and then go back to like the void where she could like rule over
everyone there.
Yeah.
That was like the exit plan there. So then again, to give this convoluted thing saying, oh yes, if you just go downstairs and connect the two things, it'll cause an impasse where it'll self explode. So they go, oh yes, but if you do, you will die. It'll vaporize you on a atom level.
Yeah, atomize. Yeah.
And then they do the whole like switcheroo things. No, I'm going to save you. No, I'm going to save you. And that's why I did actually think this could be the last time we see Wolverine, like Hugh Jackman.
I did too. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a legit death. For both of them.
Sacrifice. It was a very Guardians of the Galaxy moment. When when they
touched the orb thing.
And Hugh Jackman proved that he is still buff. It's not just
I love how like his clothes rip off in the most like comedy fashion as well. Like,
it's the way Deadpool looks down.
Yeah, he has
all that's going on.
Yeah. And his clothes don't rip off, literally just Wolverine.
No, just Wolverine.
It's hilarious.
Magic exploding clothes. But yeah, so that happened, and then the good TVA come in and start like questioning Matthew McFadden's character, saying, and he's like playing a story. He's like, well, this all happened, and these heroes came and saved us, but yes. And then when you hear Wade's voice and you just hear him go, oh, fuck. No one's going to buy my story anymore.
He tried it.
Yeah.
Good try.
He was so
they don't
good.
really explain how they live. They're just like, oh, you said it would kill a Wolverine, but not like a Deadpool and a Wolverine or something.
Yeah.
Daisy chain, I don't know.
We've just walked out of it basically too.
They are good at regening, so I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Like,
they may have died multiple times.
I've seen Wolverine regenerate from a nuclear explosion that reduced him to a skeleton, so like
anything's possible.
But then we get
also movie magic.
Yes, and they did the old shawarma joke from the Avengers, so that was quite funny.
I laughed so hard. I was the only person laughing at that.
The thing is when he says like, "Oh, the Avengers discovered shawarma," like that's a joke, but I'll bet you any restaurant that had that plastered on the wall that they served it, like, got some extra business from like nerds who like only ever tried beige food.
It was so quick to like, he was like, "Should we go and get some shawarma?" Yeah, I could eat. Like, it was so fast.
Yeah. But they were just sat outside, like all knackered, weren't they? Like, let's just on a bench.
And then he gets his doggy back.
Yes. Yeah. But then you get the whole moment as well, like I said, the whole happy ending where they're all like at Deadpool's party again.
His family were there.
Yeah, and then basically,
I think that means that Wolverine's going to have to come and live with them. I mean, he wouldn't have a house anywhere, would he?
No, I think Blind Al will definitely. She would take him in, but the dialogue between her and Wade, especially over the cocaine, we can't say. Feige said we can't use cocaine.
And like,
Feige
know all of the terms for it.
Yeah, Feige said, because when he went to Kevin Feige and said, "What is off the table? I don't care what's on the table, but what is off?" And he went, "It's an R-rated movie. Let's just do this to our advantage. You do whatever you want." And he went, "Well, actually, the whole cocaine thing's like, it's a outdated joke, isn't it? Like, this is not a 1970 Chevy Chase movie. Let's just leave it in the past." And that's where the inspiration came from, to bring that up and to mention every variation. What they could for cocaine.
Which that was in the trailers as well, most of that sort of joke line, wasn't it?
No, definitely.
You want to build a snowman?
Yes, I really do.
We can't.
But because it was nice to see like Lauren there as well. X-23 was with them, so it kind of hints like where that can.
They were okay. Yeah, like they were fine.
Yeah,
everything from the old Deadpool movies, I think, pretty much had a cameo, because there was all those that girl person that he hangs out with. Is she called
Sonic Teenage Warhead?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
and Colossus was there, but I don't think he talked or anything. He was at the start, at least.
He talked in the beginning, but not at the end. But it's the
he said he'd been watching Great British Bake Off, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's like, "Love it." It's it's her girlfriend. What's her name? Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's like, "I'm so sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh! That was not meant for your ears." And she's like, "No problem."
Does that mean she's the Wolverine Yukiko? Is that who that is?
I
don't know.
Oh, no, that's Mariko, isn't it?
Mariko, that's Mariko.
That Wolverine that has a relationship.
No, it's not that one. Okay, it's very young.
No. I just wondered if they were like hinting at that. And also, I just want to call out that they also remembered that Deadpool's baby arms and legs, because when he chopped off the samurai Deadpool at the end, he was like this with his little arms.
I've just been reading there was a Zenpool,
that might have been who I was,
2099, Golden Age Deadpool, Fool.
Yep.
There was so many.
I think that I said I can't wait. I hope there's lots of extras with this when they bring it out.
There was like a Tron colored one as well, but I don't know if that's like an X-Force, like, task force.
There was like a dance pool as well, as something like that.
There was a dance pool, yeah. Yes,
regular
so many pools.
Dance pool.
So what did you think of the end credits as well? Because there was two bits. Like, I bawled like a baby when it was kind of like when Green Day kicked in Time of Life, and it was kind of like showing you like goodbye to the Fox universe, like everything.
That's what this movie was. It was a farewell to Fox, and to show all the behind the scenes from all of the old Fox X-Men. It was mainly X-Men.
It was a bit of an not this scene, but the entire movie was kind of a bit of an FU to like some old Fox executives and stuff like that. You know, people who'd like wasted characters' potential or messed stories up so much that not all of this had to be like rebooted multiple times. It was a very interesting take because obviously he's in Disney, but it was very critical of Disney as well. Like, because he was like, "Oh, we're sick of multiverse stuff." Like they say that in the movie, and there's a lot of like,
this, "We're going to make this relevant." Marvel, like, make us relevant again, like after Endgame.
They literally say that, don't they? Yeah, they're literally like, I
feel like Marvel. It might have been you, Jake, today said about this self-awareness of Marvel, and maybe this is them being very self-aware that we've kind of fucked up over the last few years.
Hopefully.
And we're really sorry. And we hope that this movie makes up for that.
Because I think personally, I don't feel like, yes, I haven't really enjoyed the movies, but I don't feel like slighted or insulted. I'm just like, I don't really want to watch like Secret Wars or whatever.
Disappointed.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed.
Disheartened.
But it's interesting how they've kind of done this 180 and they're like, we're going to make it right. And I'm like, okay, it's
we
fine.
kind of believe them a little bit as well. Because I think the word like I would use is disheartened, like or disinterested. That's the thing. It's lost. It's lost me interest within it.
Yeah.
Where before,
I feel like it started out disheartening and then moved into that.
It's just weird it took them this long to realize, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If they're making money though, that's the thing, because they think that they've got a plan, they follow the plan. Because let's be honest, go back to the old Avengers movie, there's some fucking shit there as well. There's some really dud movies that, like,
you know what I was gonna say, like when you guys were like excited about the Russo brothers, I was kind of like, I think I maybe only like 2 Russo brothers movies, and I think it's like the first Avengers and then Infinity War. Like, I don't rate some of the other ones super highly. Like Avengers 2 is like Age of Ultron is kind of
Joss Whedon that.
Oh right, okay, yes.
So Joss Whedon is Age of Ultron and the first Avengers, and the Russo brothers are Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Okay, so I don't like Endgame out of those, but yes.
Ant's not a huge fan of Endgame either. He loved Infinity War better.
But I think, like Paul says this all the time, I think Endgame is just bloated, and it's like it has to cram so much in to get to where they want to be with like everyone on the battlefield.
I still love it.
Sorry, that was just me misunderstanding that they were like the Avengers 2 people also.
Oh no, that was Joss Whedon. That was the movie that got him in a lot. I think that was the starting point of the stories of Joss Whedon starting to come out of his mistreatment of women.
It was just really weird as well. Like the story just wasn't.
And what he wrote for Black Widow was horrific.
Yeah,
terrible. Not good. But he's gone. Bye.
So the other end credit scene where it's kind of we get Deadpool explaining why he wasn't responsible for Johnny Storm.
It's the fact that he's like, I'm not having this. I'm not being blamed for this. He fucking said it, and then he shows you that he fucking said it. And oh my god, to hear Chris Evans swear that much just made my nerd heart very full.
And it was funny because he was going like, I don't even know what some of these words mean. Like earlier on.
Oh, you do, Johnny Storm.
But yes. So overall, I know, like I say, when we've watched this movie, we weren't planning on doing this. This is kind of like came about that we felt it deserved.
It was so fun. That's the main thing I took away from it. Like, like the story wasn't like super serious. It doesn't have like huge ramifications going forward. But it was really fun. Like, if you're gonna do an in between, Avengers level event, like this is what you need to do. It's got to be fun. It has to have like lots of fun characters, and everyone knows like what they're doing. Like, and that's exactly what this was.
And you can have some serious undertones, which there was in this. But if you just continued with them serious undertones, I feel like the movie just would have like kind of like drifted away a bit. So to have Wade as that counterbalance to bring up the levels was just perfectly put together as a storytelling point of view. You got a laugh in there, you got heart, you got soul, you got a shitload of Deadpools.
I think what it had more than everything else, it had balls. It had like the balls to
Yeah.
go basically right. This is a character that throughout, like both these characters, let's be honest, have got a shitty past when it comes to the comics. They're not all holy as light. They're not perfect. They don't have to be these like as you said, they don't have to be these Steve Rogers. They don't have to be Peter Parker. They don't have to be even Bruce Banner. They don't even have to be fucking Tony Stark. All they have to be is the genuine selves where they are vulnerable, they are raw, but when the shit comes down, they fucking throw down like fucking animals, because that's what Logan is. Logan is fucking feral, and seeing him going like with a hair trigger, because that's the thing we've not seen with Logan. Like literally, Logan would lose his shit in the comics over anything. This was the same. Like anything would set him off. Like anything weird would do to set him off. But then, as you find out, he grows on you. He's got a heart. You find out why you love these characters because of their imperfections. And even like say the previous two Deadpools got a lot of stuff right, but I don't think they got Wade Wilson right as much as they did in this one.
The heart of Wade Wilson was more pure in this one than the other two. Don't get me wrong, I think the first two are hilarious. They are just what you need to kind of break up what we were going through at the time with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it was a nice kind of like light-hearted moment, but this was pure heart. There was
I think that's the subtle thing about like they did a few things really subtly in this crazy over-the-top movie. Like Paul was saying, one was Wolverine, where it's like, yes, he has a hair trigger, but also his hair trigger, like his trigger level is different for everyone. Like he knows he can beat the shit out of Deadpool and he's going to come back. Therefore, he goes to more extremes. But with other characters, he was nice to them and stuff. Like, you know, like you say, he wanted to let Cassandra live. Like, because he wasn't, like, he knows Deadpool can go just as hard as he can. Therefore, his, like, sort of reactions were different. And like you say, Sammy, with Deadpool, like if he didn't have heart, why is he even in the story? Like he would just, if he really meant all of the horrible like jokes he says and how he like doesn't care about anything, like why would he be there? He would just leave.
He would have just walked away. Exactly. He would have taken his dog and fucked off. Like he was getting that dog. It's the fact that that dog is kissing his face and he is keeping pure contact with whoever it is he's talking to.
It was like right in the mouth as well, like half the time.
And he's not even reacting to it. He's just looking directly dead in the eye of the person he's talking to.
Well, he was talking to himself.
Did anyone notice as well at the beginning with Wade's face? Something didn't look right. I don't know if it was the makeup. He looked like he had really high cheekbones.
He's probably just because he's probably got a bit older and just put a bit of weight on. That's all.
I don't know.
I don't like to look at his. I don't like to look at his burnt face. It's not pleasant to look at.
It just something looked a bit off, but then I was like, is it the hair that's throwing it off? And that's what I'm really focusing on. I don't know.
Honestly, I'll give like kudos to like Ryan Reynolds, because that makeup can't be comfortable.
No.
And to have your character like be visibly like repulsive like that, and then your only like option is to have a mask on the entire time, like that's some like ballsy acting, like Paul said, because most actors would be like, oh well, can I just like take it off now? Can you make me like handsome again somehow like in the story? But can someone grant me my good looks back from in Deadpool 2 so we can like, you know? But he just like goes all in. And like that's what we want from superhero movies. We want them to wear the masks.
And he does.
So I'm not going to rate this movie like we've been doing, because I don't think like fairly it's one of those movies now that's give us that much hope and belief to what that comes, long as they use this as the blueprint, where it's kind of like almost like a blank slate. You've got people's hope now. It's like Marvel, don't fuck it up and don't misuse that kind of belief and that goodwill that you've kind of got now.
Do you guys know, because I know there's some stuff in production, but in production order, what would be the next thing that comes out after this? Like,
Agatha.
is it going to
Agatha Harkness if we're going television, but if we're gonna,
that was already finished though. Like, but so like from this point on, will it be Doomsday is the next new thing, like fully new thing?
Fantastic Four.
Okay, right. So that's coming up next.
The Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts
is next year.
Thunderbolts is. I think
that's probably wrapped at this point, though, hasn't it? Like.
It's all ready to go. I believe anyway. From
so, like, because I'm thinking like the philosophies that everyone's saying, like, yes, this is amazing, keep it up. They're probably not ingrained just yet into like the whole production, but yeah, that's exciting because I know Fantastic Four is sort of early on, but that sounds amazing too. So I think that'll be the next real test of Marvel. Like, can you back up the check you've written here?
So let's have a look.
Marvel are really good at when they go to Comic-Con of giving you a timeline of what to expect. Kind of didn't do that.
No, because they would have had like Blade on it, and then they would have had to answer questions about Blade. Also, did you see that asterisk that's on Thunderbolts?
Oh gosh, here we go. No, I did not.
The mysterious asterisk.
Captain America: Brave New World is February 14th,
that was the one.
2025.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts is May 2nd, 2020. We are going back to the way that they were doing the movies. May 2nd, 2025. Yeah. Fantastic Four First Steps is July 25th, 2020. So that is literally this time next year.
Yeah. I think that'll be the one to watch then.
And apparently Blade is the movie to end the year of November 7th, 2015. And then we start again. We go back to May. And that is going to be
to the three movies a year.
This is what we need, yes. And then it's Doomsday, May 2026.
Okay, so I could potentially see Blade getting dropped from that.
Getting shit canned and just... Then we've had the movie. So if we've got Brave New World being in February and then you've got one so close in May, then that's fine. It's okay. If that didn't happen, you've still got your three movies.
Yeah, I think like Fantastic Four is going to be the next big test. I think like Thunderbolts and Captain America are going to be fun. But I think they might suffer from a little bit of this like transition period. But no, like it's looking up for me. Like these are some characters I like. Like I've read Thunderbolts comics. I like bad guy teams and stuff like that. It's always you can get away with some fun ideas with that kind of thing.
It's just like only thing again, old man head on. Just don't show us so much in the fucking trailers. Just give us things like because like say again, I know what I'm pissing and moaning about. I'm so mad that you've showed us the Red Hulk. Even if you just teased the Scream or like that it was going to happen, we know he's going to be in it. We want to see it on the big screen. We want to see it in the movie. That would have been such an experience.
Yeah.
Again,
and
if there's going to
people can stop leaking stuff as well. Like,
do you think it's because they felt the need to like prove that they're doing stuff? Because like.
I think they're scared. I think they're scared
on paper,
with
like Captain America: Brave New World. You don't really know anything about that. Like you know Sam's going to be in it, but then you wouldn't know like who some of the crazy big bads are going to be and stuff like that.
No.
But
so they feel the need to like show you something crazy to be like, it's going to be get a ticket.
Yeah, potentially. Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they're not doing that good. They possibly feel like they have a bit to prove. So maybe showing Red Hulk is their way of saying, look, we're sorry, we didn't mean it. The TV show it's just what it is.
Still pissed us off. Still annoyed us.
Yeah.
But
still annoyed us.
But yeah, like I said, as I'm saying, you've given us hope, Marvel. Don't fuck it up, or we will be going all Wolverine Berserker rage on you, motherfuckers.
Motherfucker.
So yes. So if you've watched this, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you, like I say, hope you've seen the movie to start with, because otherwise we've just spoiled the whole shit ton of it there for you.
But also, you might just be a sicko like me who enjoys spoilers, in which case now you're free to talk amongst your friends. You've now heard a rough outline of the plot and stuff like that. But God, like leave some friggin' comments, jump in Facebook, tell us what you think about this movie.
Yes.
I know we're trying to keep it like spoiler free, but like the buzz can't be kept contained.
keep it in the comment section. Come and join us in the comment section. Come and talk to us in the comment section about it, as opposed to going to the Facebook community, because
you'll get banned. I'll ban you.
But the last thing we want to do is to upset anyone. We know how important this is. We want everyone to go in with fresh eyes and not have the internet ruin things. I have been so peed off recently with the way that spoilers and leaks have been handled. I don't like it. I feel like I'm starting to lose the magic of my hype, and I'm trying my hardest to get that back. Yeah. So please stop. So come and join us in the comment section. Talk to us. We're here. So yes. I definitely know Laura will be in there. I can guarantee you 100% Laura will be in that comment section.
So yes. So anyway,
we want conversation.
So yes. So thank you, nerds. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your lunchtime viewing. I hope this doesn't get you the sack. So yes,
sorry for breaking the illusion that it's actually nighttime by getting dark over the course of the podcast.
You've gone really dark.
I
can't reach it.
It's like the dark man's coming for the night man's coming for Jake. It's like
day man.
And poor Rog McLelly got cut out of this film as well.
Oh, bless him.
Hopefully there are fake Fantastic Four in that movie. Make it happen.
Right.
Make it so.
So same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
Bye.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.